Welcome. It's good morning. I'm Citizen Jones. Let's go straight to business. This morning, the Ombudsman looks at a country's graduated fall from the skies. A country's graduated fall from the skies. In Africa today, the top 5 country airlines, in no particular order, include the Ethiopian Airlines, South African Airlines, Air Mauritius, Air Seychelles, and Kenya Airways. Nigeria Airways is conspicuously missing from the lineup, not because she wants to, or because the 5 countries mentioned are smaller in sizes. No, no. Nigeria Airways was founded in August 1958 after the old West African Airways Corporation, WAAC, was dissolved. It was amongst the first 3 at first, and correctly so. It ceased operations in 2003 when former President Olusegun Obasanjo government single-handedly liquidated the airline. An attempt at reviving the dead airways via a flag carrier named Virgin Nigeria in 2004 by the same Obasanjo regime collapsed woefully when it ceased operations on September 10, 2012. The Nigerian factor, aka corruption, we are told, had crept in. Vested interests, many of them evil, have been responsible for our being absent in the air for years on end. Our country ranks amongst those with the best pilots and crew on planet Earth. That's all we hear. Our pilots are flying the airlines of other countries. That's all we know. In a 21st century world, when other serious countries are harnessing resources so as to be in the skies, we elect to hunt with the boas. Never too late to begin again and be amongst the best in the skies. It is possible. That's the Ombudsman. Okay, straight we go to our talk for the morning. The Professional Woman and Millennium Demands. The Professional Woman and Millennium Demands. And it's the 21st century, some 26 years ago, after the all-important Beijing conference in China, when a significant turning point for the global agenda for gender equality was reached. Women across the world, Nigeria inclusive, do not feel ashamed to share the limelight with their male counterparts. It's a knowledge environment where women are proving their mettle in the area of using the computer and playing boardroom politics like their male counterparts. But a few hiccups still remain to be overcome for the 21st century Nigerian professional woman. Combining her career and job on the one hand with her natural role as wife and mother on the other is a daunting task. The typical Nigerian society of the 21st century still battles with religious, cultural, and societal biases, even as the Nigerian society plays catch-up. Now, are these biases or prejudices impediments against the 21st century professional woman? How is she coping with these factors? I have 2 ladies, professional ladies, to bridge the subject matter with me. Don't forget, I just talked about the Professional Woman and Millennium Demands. Let's meet in no particular order. Onyegbule, broadcaster, journalist, women's rights advocate. Come on. What do they do, Seth? If you agree to. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
It's no joke. It's no laughing matter.
No, it's not.
What do women's rights advocate?
They talk about women issues because, the society we live in, they don't take such issues very seriously. Everyone's talking about what the man can do, why the man should be head of the house, why the man should be the head of everything.
And why not?
And they just relegate the woman to the background. So women rights activists get to talk about these issues and bring them to the fore. And I think they're doing a very good job at it.
We'll find out. I also have Jayne Augoye. She's a journalist and work-life balancer. What does that entail?
So So a work-life balancer is a lady who advocates for women to marry their jobs and their personal lives, or their businesses and their personal life, in such a way that they strike that balance. We know that finding balance today is almost impossible, but you can sort of integrate your personal life and your other life.
When you are going to go into marriage, you expected the man to marry you and your job.
Exactly.
What happened?
That's a story I try not to relive,
After this, don't say it again.
Yeah, when he was coming, I remember that question. My mother asked him the question, do you know the job that she does? And he said, yes. Do you know that this woman will practically be on her phone? People are always calling her. She's a journalist, and she's...
Men, women...
Yeah, she's a person for the people. And he said, yes, I don't mind. I just want your daughter, and that was it. But you men, the things you say...
No, speak for that man. Don't speak for me.
Just because you want to get the woman. And he says, yes, I'll do all of that. I'll take it in and all whatnot. So when push came to shove, things changed. Those wonderful words of I'll take it everything, it changed. And the idea was, why do you have to have your phone on 24 hours? You need to turn off your phone at 10 p.m. And I said, it's practically impossible for me to turn off my phone at 10 p.m. because at that time I was the GM of a radio station, a station that ran 24 hours. People will call you, whether or not my staff called at that time. Other people might also want to talk to you. There are some people who are nocturnal. They want to talk to you at night. But he felt there was every reason for me to switch off my phone. But that's one of the many things that happened. And that's why I say to people, you need to find someone who understands you and your job so that you can marry the two together.
For that matter, marries you and the job.
And the job, yes.
Jayne, how did it go for you?
So I always tell women or young ladies, before you make that plunge, before you take your vows, you have to be very careful about the choice of your life partner. I feel it's almost as important as the choice of your career, because once you get into the marriage, you make that mistake, you're in it for life. So you have to be sure that whoever it is you want to spend the rest of your life with is comfortable with your career. You guys have to have that talk. So that once you get into the marriage, you don't have issues about, if you're married to a journalist, for instance, or a broadcaster, and you should, because you understand the nature of her career, she works late nights, she interviews personalities, you won't have complex issues, number one. You won't be suspicious. You would give her your all. But a man who is not even confident in himself will feel threatened by an ambitious woman. So
confident to want to marry you.
No.
Without knowing you.
Of course, before you sign the dotted lines, you should have dated, you should have courted. So you should know that woman. You should be able to know if you want to spend the rest of your life with her, bearing in mind the nature of her job. Because each career, each job has its own peculiarities. The journalism media in Nigeria or anywhere in the world is very demanding.
You could have been a nurse, a doctor.
Of course not. So so you need to understand your spouse and also support her dreams and her aspirations.
But the Nigerian society is basically patrilineal. Male-dominated,
yes,
and you get to hear what if it's a man's world, what would it be without the woman?
Practically tasteless. It's
boring.
going to be boring.
You are asking or telling me?
No, I'm telling you. It will be practically tasteless, boring, and a very terrible place to live in. If you understand what it is that I'm talking about.
I'm trying to.
Things are changing. Times are changing now. The women are taking the bull by the horns. You find out that. Let's even look at the COVID-19 time, when COVID-19 came upon us. A lot of people lost their jobs, many of them men. You now found out that the woman had to now take on that toga of being the provider. Many women are providers in their homes. So that idea of the society being patrilineal or the patriarchy now breathing down on us, things are changing, but not many men find it easy to take in the changes that have come.
But ours is a peculiar society.
Very peculiar.
Religion, culture, and all that.
It's always
21st century.
It's always been like that, but things are changing. That's the truth. I'm sure you agree that some churches that never used to hear about the idea of ordaining female priests and all of that, those things are changing as it is.
Oh, you folks are changing changing what we have in the Bible.
Things, not the Bible. No one is changing what's in the Bible, but times are changing. We need to move with the times. When you also look at it, many women are breaking the ceilings now. They're taking over leadership. You have so many women CEOs. You have so many women directors. When we even look at politics, many women are stepping forward now. I know it won't be easy because I hear people say, give women a chance. And I say to them, no one's going to give you a chance. As a woman, you have to
America
get in there.
as sophisticated as their United States is, woman never be president.
But we have a woman vice president.
A
It
woman
will
is
happen
not-
someday. It will happen someday.
Not
We're
because-
getting there.
Not because Biden might die anytime.
No,
No.
no, no. But we're getting there. It will happen someday.
Jayne, it's a patrilineal society. Adjusting is the name of the game.
That's
So
true.
the Nigerian men are playing catch up in the 21st century.
That's a tough one. I would say no. The women are actually playing catch up, and the women are really giving the men a run. I mean,
For their guts.
for their guts, for their money, for their position, for
But
everything.
the same money answers all things.
It does. But like if he said a lot of women are taking on leadership roles. Times have changed. The narrative is changing. A lot of women, and a typical example is Augoye. She's a mom, she's a wife, and she has risen to the pinnacle of her career. I mean, that's goals for a lot of we young career women.
Yeah.
So a lot of women are now becoming very aware that opportunities are bound, but you need a right support. Because if Okonjo didn't have a supportive husband, we know where she would be. And there's this thing.
I don't know.
So there's this talk my mom and I usually have. She said there's actually a level of success you can achieve as a married woman, and that's the truth. If you want to get to the top, the zenith of your career, something will have to give, whether you like it or not. Even in your business, something will have.
What gives?
Sometimes you will have to choose between your career or your family. Some people don't even have to make that choice. Why? Because they have a fantastic support system. Some don't even have support system, but some are very self-driven. But not everyone is wired like that. But I say for a woman to attain success in her career, in her home or her personal life, she needs a fantastic support system. And the support system doesn't necessarily have to be your spouse. You can have a tight circle, very close-knitted and tight circle that will always be behind you, pushing you, nudging you, supporting you, because it takes a lot for a woman to step up in a very patrilineal society such as ours.
Okay. If you went Martina Navratilova, that name, when she was number 2 tennis star on the planet, she was asked by the journalist where next to go. She said, to be number 1. If she was number 1, and the same journalist went to her, where next to go? She paused for a while and said, downstairs.
But that's what happens with everyone.
Okay.
When you arrive at the zenith, it's not always easy to stay put there because nobody no cock crows forever. You have to now begin to think.
No, when you kill the cock, it stops crowing.
No, you have to now think about grooming the next generation.
Yeah.
As you're rising to that zenith, you need to begin to groom people who will step into your shoes.
But is that our society makes room for that?
For individuals, I will say yes. But when you look at it, some people don't have that spirit. There's something called the spirit of wanting to groom other people. But every leader should understand that there has to be someone or a group of persons who will step into your shoes and take over the mantle for when you retire, because you will always retire, which is what I say to people. I've just put in a few years in broadcasting as it is, but then I have some foot soldiers, people that I have groomed to say, look, you are the ones who will carry on with the torch. Then again, years ago, I interviewed a woman called Bimbo Oloyede. Mrs. Bimbo Oloyede, for
my
those who know
colleague,
her.
yeah.
And she said to me, you don't force people to mentor them. People need to look for you to say, look, I want to be mentored.
Because in this case, broadcasters or journalists are born,
Yes,
they're not made.
they are born, they're not made. Even away from journalism or broadcasting as it is,
Yeah.
even in politics and all of that, some people think they arrive on their own. No, someone must show you the way. There has to be a torch. But in this society of ours, not too many people want that. They want to be there forever. But you forget that you will get old. The body.
That's what you think.
Yes.
Have you seen that the Nigerian man is not ready to allow?
Not all of them. Not all of them. The examples abound. It's right there. You find that people are there. They keep doing the same thing. You don't want to leave the stage until death says it is time for you to go. But I think that every leader should understand that there has to come that time when you need to step aside and let the young ones carry on with the torch.
Yeah. What?
I totally agree with her. That's one of the signs of a good leader. You should be able to raise followers and people who have that potential, to take over from you, because the truth is you won't always be at the top. And how did you get to the top? Like if he said someone else gave you the opportunity. If that person did not give you the opportunity, you wouldn't be here. And the way Nigeria is, we live in a very peculiar society, such that it's almost impossible. Yeah, your talent can take you far, but sometimes you need someone to open the door for you, to give you that lead to, okay, I'm going to connect you. Connection, like they say.
Jane, and when you leave the room, you are told not to slam the door.
Of course, you need to open. You need to open. So, like if he said it's an
many
individual,
women slam they slam doors.
They keep saying. I keep hearing women don't support themselves. I say, well, if you keep saying that, that means you're in the wrong circle.
Good.
You're in the wrong circle because the narrative is changing, and I'm very deliberate about the kind of networks I keep, the kind of friendship I make. I nurture. My circle is very small. And I'm very, very picky, so if I'm your friend, it must be a very symbiotic relationship. We should be gaining something. So you are up there as a woman. How many people?
Women love to gain and gain and gain.
Human beings love to gain. It's not a gender, whatever. Human beings by nature. By nature, we are selfish. Everybody wants to shine.
Including the Onyegbule.
Everyone. It's just an innate thing. But you have to. That is where your humane. Is it what like humanity? That's where humane. The human
nature.
The human. Yeah, the human nature, kindness. That's where it comes in.
But there must be problem areas, Ife, for the woman, the professional woman in the 21st century.
She just mentioned something a while ago, that for you to move on and get to the zenith of your career, something truly needs to give.
Yeah.
It could be relationship with family members. It could be the relationship you have with your spouse.
Yeah.
You necessarily may not be divorced or be separated, but something will shake there.
Yes.
Because you will not be there all of the time like it used to be. I will take myself I will use myself as an example. When my husband took ill, it took me to leave the job. I had to leave the job to go spend 8 months with him in the hospital to take care of him until he passed on, as it is. How many people are able to do that? Many women would have just walked away to say, look, this is just a new marriage. Why do I have to waste my time sitting down with a man who's ill, who never said to me that he had XXX ailment and all of that? But I had to stay on. So I think it's your will to want to stay on. Things can go bad in a marriage. So a man can lose his job anytime. So what do you do as a woman? So it's about the individual. Some will stay with you to say, look, let's weather this storm together. Others will just walk away to say, look, I'm not interested. It's when it's good, for better, for stay, for worse, for do what, take a walk. So there are so many issues, when it comes to the woman being able to hold her own or stand her own.
We'll talk some more about the problems of the professional woman in the 21st century Nigeria. Let me announce, it's just gone 20 minutes past 9 in the city of Lagos. The radio station remains Radio Now, 95.3 on the dial, FM dial. And I have two guests this morning broaching the subject matter of the professional woman and millennium demands. Jayne Augoye, journalist, work-life balancer, and Ife Onyegbule, broadcaster, journalist, women's rights advocate. Ife, you are an only member of a board of governors of the Imo State Broadcasting
Corporation.
Yeah.
The IBC.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a
An only female member.
Yes, it's a 6-man panel, and I'm the only woman and about the youngest in that on that board. And I think it's a wonderful thing if we're getting to that stage, because when people heard that I was appointed into a board, they looked at me, they're like, wow, if this is such a big thing, the board is for old people. And I said,
me sir, follow Luke.
and they said the board is for old people, and I'm like, no,
Retired people who are about retiring.
no, but it shouldn't be. Why should it be?
Okay,
It shouldn't be. But you asked me the question. Yes, I'm the only woman on the board, and I'm just ready to roll with the time.
Have you met before?
We
Officially?
met after the inauguration. We had
Okay.
a short meeting. We met with members of management of the IBC, but we have another meeting scheduled, which is going to be our very first official meeting
Okay.
as a board. A newly
No
inaugurated
hunches?
board. For now, no, and I don't
Too
expect.
early.
I don't expect that there'll be hunches. It's just for us to get the job done, and I'm ready for it.
Okay, let's make it as conversational as possible. 090. Let me open the telephone line. 090-1111-1953. 090-111-1953 and 0809-222-2953. 0809-222-2953. Let's get you talking about the 21st century professional woman. Is she coping? Jayne, there's an only member of the board. In a male-dominated environment, not an easy thing. You feel for her?
I really feel for her, but I don't feel for her because I know she's equal to the task. I mean, she's very from her personality, she can't be she can't be trampled. She can't be trampled upon, and I mean that's why every woman should be knowledgeable. Whatever industry you find yourself, you need to be knowledgeable about whatever it is you do. And even if you don't work in the corporate world, even if you sell, even if you teach, just be the best at whatever it is you do. Why? Because that's your strength. It's much more than money. Such that once you talk, people know that, oh, this lady knows, and they respect you because you are even a woman, you are disadvantaged. That's the truth. And it means you have to work twice as hard, if not harder than the men, to prove yourself. And in some industries, it's very tough for women to rise. It's very tough for women to break or shatter those so-called ceilings. So you have to prove your worth and not say, oh, because I'm a woman. No, you shouldn't. So be knowledgeable.
A woman is the head of Union Bank as we sit here. A woman is
the chairman of GTB Bank is a woman.
A woman is also the MD of Nigerian Post Authority.
So lots of.
So it's not about the men stopping them.
No,
it's the women.
These women are actually self-driven. Of course, they are knowledgeable. They have a support system, because these women have husbands or they have families. So before they can rise to that top, they need to have a support system to keep the home front going.
When they're
what do you think the problem was at the beginning?
Well, I say, I don't know if I should say civilization.
Okay.
Civilization, the world is
poverty of ideas,
poverty of the mind.
Okay.
The world is changing, so you have to change with it. You have to move with the times. You can't be stuck in that 1940s mentality. Times have changed. Time is changing. I mean, in our own children's time, we don't know what it would even look like. So you cannot keep playing second fiddle or belittling yourself or thinking very lowly of yourself as a woman. You have to be self-driven. I'm a motivator of moms. I'm sorry, I'm a mom, so I hate it when I see women just sit down and kill their aspirations or their dreams because they are moms. I hate it. I hate it. I know that there will be a time in your life as a mom, especially the first few years, the formative years, where you need to sort of dedicate time, to raising your children or your family. But even at that time, you have to find time to nurture your talents, to nurture your aspirations. Because,
Jayne, but you see, again, society is changing. This is the 21st century. Some men would look, as a man, I'm going to have X number of children. What does the 21st century woman think?
So, have the number of children you can cater for.
But now you go born them.
It's your body. Your reproductive health is your right as a woman. So have those conversations with your husband. I mean, gone are the days where people just give birth to 6 children, 7. Growing up, I used to say, I would love to have 5 children, 6 children, maybe because I have just a brother. But now I don't need to be told, especially in this Buhari economy, that having so many children isn't so wise, except your finances can cover for all of that. So have those conversations with your partner, and family planning is a must. You can't keep dropping children every year, because for every year you give birth to a child, you are losing like 3 more years, because you have to win that child. You have to even get your body back, your mindset. You're talking about sleepless nights. You will still face potty training and, the likes. So you have to plan your life as a woman. It's very, very important.
Let's make this conversational. Let me drop the lines again. 09011111953 and 080922222953. Let's get you talking about the issues here. And we're also on WhatsApp. WhatsApp, the number is 08096822595. 08096822595. WhatsApp. The big talk remains the professional woman and millennium demands. If you also, quite apart from being a broadcaster and women's rights advocate, you have written a book. How did we get here?
Big question.
Aren't you begging the question?
No, I'm not. It's actually a specialized book. People have said to me, why didn't you write a book about Nigeria with such a title? I said, no. For me, it's about broadcasting, because I'm looking at grooming and training the next generation of broadcasters. So that book is just practically about 25 mistakes that every radio and TV presenter must avoid. So to say that the question that I'm begging the question may not be completely true, but then I just found the need to put this together so that the young persons who are coming into the profession, or those who are already in the business, will understand that there are some things that they need to avoid. You do it, this is what the consequence will be, and it will truly help them if they are trying to build a career in broadcasting.
For instance, on page 41, you have vacation, not for me.
Yes, because, Jayne is laughing. You know what it's like with our job? You fall in love with the job so much that you don't even think about yourself. And you forget the fact that being the kind of job that you have to sit in one place all of the time, you need to get up and take a walk around. Some people are falling ill by just sitting down, doing the same thing over and over again for 10, 15, 20 years. Now, when we talk about vacation, you don't have to travel to the United States of America or travel to the UK or Dubai or wherever it is. You can step out and go to a place like, okay, let's talk about the Budukatu Ranch if it's still in existence. You can come to the Uguta Blue Lake as it is. You can travel to different parts of Nigeria.
The lake is blue.
You need to get there and check it out for yourself. You need to get out of this job, disconnect from the work for some time, okay, so that you're able to refuel, if you understand what I'm saying. Not many people understand that you can thin out when you stay so long on the job without taking some time out to have that me time. Get a massage, cut your nails, do your hair, do all the beautiful things that you love to do. Take wine. Just breathe in fresh air. Not too many people understand that. And that's why I've said there that it is important for broadcasters to take time out spend time alone or with a loved one. Do the things that make you happy. Laugh so hard that your ribs actually ache. Love, learn some new things, and see the world as it is.
Let's take a first call. It's come. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir. Good morning, madam.
Yeah, they greet you. Your name?
I'm Jayne Akeron. I'm calling from Igbesa.
Okay.
If you can come for holiday in Igbesa, please.
Come for a holiday in Igbesa.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
The women, the Millennium women, and
professional woman in the 21st century Nigeria.
Yes, they are spoken quite well. However, my worry is in the area of religion, or we can call it ecumenical affair.
Okay.
In trying to, quote unquote, upstage the men, aren't you going to change the way nature, it's supposed to be? Because the scriptures, especially the Quran, provide the limit for what women folks can do, especially leading the congregation in prayer. In Islam, it is not allowed. Aren't we going to get there? And when we get there, what will happen to the scripture? Are we challenging the scripture?
Okay.
Good morning.
Yeah. Jim is saying the scripture, in this case, the Quran, has set rules for the women folk. So, are we changing that in the 21st century?
I pretty much don't want to dwell on religion or tradition as it is. As I said to you, things are changing. We're breaking out of the norms. That's the truth. Because those days, people used to sit at home. When we talk about those days, I watched my mother go to the bank. My mother worked with a bank all through her life before she retired. She had 7 children. Of course, the one before me died even before she was, I think, 2. So my mother was able to bring up 6 children, even with working in the bank. Yes, she had my father who was home some of the time to take care of us. There were relatives, as Jayne said. You have to have support system, which be your family members and all of that, who are able to help you take care of the home while you're there working. So I wouldn't want to dwell on religion. I don't like to touch on religion because it's a very touchy issue.
Oh, yeah.
But then it's about people doing the right thing. Women need
what's
to do
right
the right thing.
is right.
Exactly.
And what's wrong is wrong.
Yes.
Jayne, you are also the prime mover of Fabulous Mom. What do you do there?
So it's a parenting and lifestyle community for moms, women in general. I'm a strong advocate of women finding balance, integrating their work into their life and their life into their work. And I'm very big on women having support systems, because a support system will give you the wings to fly in whatever field, whatever sector you find yourself in at the end of the day.
We'll wait for more calls to come in. We're looking today at the 21st century Nigerian professional woman, the professional woman and millennium demands. If you see also in this book, which is a follow-up to a previous book, How Did We Get Here? I see money is everything. That's on page 49.
That's what young people think. When they get into a job, okay, maybe we didn't talk about broadcasting alone, but for broadcasting, when they come into the job, you're sitting on a panel and you're having an audition with young persons who want to come into the profession, and you just throw it at them and say to them, how much would you want to earn? Now you find someone who hasn't even put in a year or 2 in the job, and they say to you, okay, I can manage 300,000.
Manage.
And you're wondering, what are you bringing to the table?
Usually this answer would come from a female broadcaster.
Nah.
Nah.
No, I'm asking.
No, no.
Okay.
Male, female. That's the truth. But I say to them, when you're going for an audition or something like that, let the people understand what you're bringing to the table. It is the value that will attract the kind of amount that you're thinking about. Don't go to an interview.
What's in your head?
Exactly. Don't go to a table empty, because they will see through you and they know you're not coming with anything, but you want to get paid, which is the problem that we have even in the larger Nigeria as it is. You find that there are too many people who are not doing anything and they are getting paid. It's become a way of life, and that's some of the problems that we have as a country.
Jayne, many women are becoming lettered, certificated in the 21st century. A plus, a minus?
A big plus.
Okay.
A very big plus.
Even where they cannot defend these certificates? Take them one after the other. Let's look at the pluses.
A lot of women are, aspiring. They're aspirational, and because of this, they are putting in the work. So right now you have female professors. I mean, these things are not new. More female professors, more females, more women, more moms who are even going for their doctorate degree, even in marriage, while in their husbands' houses. So which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It just shows that the narrative is changing. Women are tired of the whole saying that they belong to the other room, or that their role is just for the kitchen.
Let me take another call.
Okay.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, caller. Not quite ready for us, yeah. The lines are still open, 09011111953 and 080922222953. Let's get talking about the professional woman in a 21st century Nigeria, where you have so many cultural affinities and blah, 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 blah. We take another call. Good morning.
Hello, Jones.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name, where you calling from?
Good morning to you. This is Moses from the Solomon. Hello, Ify.
Hello, good morning.
My potential MC. And hello, Jayne.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah. John, to start with, I must commend the fact that in the studio with you, you don't have bitterly angry women. And I know what I'm saying. Oh, yes. Because the angry women that are so penis envy, they hate anything men.
Nah.
I feel it's a sin being a man. You can aspire to be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
But I tell people I know, it's like women. Look, if you want to go into marriage, there are certain rules that govern marriage.
Yeah.
You can't afford to step on them because of your bogus career dreams. If you're a wife, you've got to be submissive. Whether you want to, if you want to acquire so much in your career, then please afford marriage. It's not a must you get married. Yes, forget about what society dictates. If you don't get married, blah blah, that's Augoye. But if you want to go into marriage, play the wifely role, the motherly role.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
We see her because she must have been submissive at home, and that's why she's succeeding. I can see that anywhere. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Some messages have come in from on the WhatsApp portal. Samuel Oluwadamilare Manua, he's reacting to the audio wahala where we're doing something about it. Okay. But Hell Innocent, I imagine I know her.
Another 21st century woman.
Isn't there a way you can take the two ladies together? But we're taking them. I feel you ladies. She's concluding. Banji Okuola, this is serious. Only the more we look into it, the more complex it gets. God didn't create woman to be independent. And the more they try, the more trouble they find.
No, I don't agree with Banji.
Okay.
How can you say God didn't create the woman to be independent? Many people even fail to realize that the woman is the better version of what God created. Remember when he created the man?
Come on. If you have, even if from cynics, God created man,
and he said it's not good for him to be alone.
Yeah, and when man fell, the first person who took the rap was a man. But the man also retorted, Ogana, the woman where you give me.
But I don't want to agree with Banji to say that God did not create the woman to be independent. Remember what the Proverbs 31
Oh, yeah, now you are quoting the Bible again.
But we won't go there. But he needs to understand that times are changing. If he says that the woman wasn't created to be independent, why is he wearing clothes? He should still be tying leaves around his waist and all of that. If you want us to still
be cynical,
stuck in we can't be stuck in the past. That's the truth.
Okay.
We need to move on. Times are changing. The woman has become very independent. Look at the woman at the helm at the WTO. As Jayne said, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala wouldn't have been there if she didn't have a man who supported her. Today, a caller just spoke to us and said, you don't have bitter women in the studio. Some men are also bitter. Do you understand?
Bitter about what?
Do you know that some men are afraid of how much success their wives can actually attain or achieve in their lifetime? So they try so much to put her down, suppress her so that she's not able to fly. But they're supposed to be the wind beneath her wings so that she can succeed and you take the glory. Just as people say that behind every successful man, there's a woman. And behind every successful woman, there's always that man that propels her.
Behind that woman, there's a surprise mother-in-law. on the one hand.
No, we won't go there. We won't go there. The issue of mother-in-law is something for another. I didn't have one. That was quite sad.
Okay, that's why you don't know.
I didn't have one, and it was I didn't like it, It would have been nice to have one because I heard stories about her, but I never had one. But for those who have, many have wonderful stories. Some have very terrible stories. I have a friend who said to me that her mother-in-law was always in competition with her mom, that her mom had to pack out of the house so the mother-in-law can actually relax when she had a baby. But it's the woman's mom that should come. But at that stage, she said,
but what book is that written in?
No, that's you talk about tradition. That's the tradition.
That's the tradition.
It's the woman that should go for the omugwo, not the husband's mother. But if I allow you as a
husband's mother is a woman.
Yes, she is. But wait till when your daughters have children. Then you can go there.
Or in some cases, after the woman's mother has left, she can come just to avoid all those rancor and strife.
Why should there be rancors?
Yeah, because the
women are difficult to manage.
That's not true.
I'm asking.
No. The women are not difficult to manage. When we started out with this interview, you talked about women not supporting women. I don't believe that. I hear those things, but I think these are narratives. These are narratives that men push to make the women.
In 2020, the year 2020, I'm saying in 2021, you still have the in-laws palaver.
It will always
generated mostly by women.
We're humans. Remember what it's like when the woman will say to you, "Look,
let me take another call."
Let's go.
Good morning.
I'll fight you.
Stop fighting. Tell us. Easy.
I told earlier. Let me complete my thought, please. So I was offering, look easy, and then I would advise any woman I know, and even the well-spoken ones in the studio right now, women, know your pain. Don't overrate or overreach yourself. It is true that women don't fully support. They don't support themselves politically. I'm having voting day. Even if there is a woman who is contesting, you see more women who have go for a man. Hillary is a good example. People in her age voted for Trump in her 18 days, 60.
That's America. That's America. Let's talk about Nigeria.
It's a universal thing. Let me talk.
Okay.
Thank you.
Women hardly support theirs. It's a universal thing, so it must take root here.
I don't agree.
I still don't agree. I've had female bosses, who have been good. I've also had female bosses who have been a little
who have been terrible.
Who have been terrible, who have been mean. But it's not enough for me to, generalize that women don't support women.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Let's look at the extended families. Ify. It's still a factor.
It is a very big factor. I have a young lady now. She was one of my mentees, and she said to me, her mother-in-law was always she always watches her
Who
on
was a
TV.
daughter-in-law at the time.
At some point, you know, she says, whenever my mother-in-law watches me on TV, she's looking at me and she's thinking, oh, all the men are looking at you, the men will come after you, and all of that, they'll come for you.
So
why are you not thinking of another line of job?
There should not be a Christian Amampo.
Exactly. People
Yeah.
need to understand you are what you are when no one is watching. They need to understand that. We always have these things about in-laws, extended families, wanting to live your life for you. I read a post where a young man said, look, if there are parties in my family, my wife should not take days off from our home to come to the party because she wants to cook. Let's get professional persons who make meals and pay them. And everyone came on this gentleman and said to him, your wife has to be part of the cooking process and all of that, what you call the olopo. But you that's a man who has decided that his wife will not do that. He says, look, I will provide the money. But many see that if a woman who's married to a family that is large, people are doing, there's a party and you don't come there to join in that frenzy when you talk about cooking for parties, that means you're disconnected from the family. I do not think so. For me, as a person, as Ife Onyegbule, I will join in it. But it doesn't mean I will slight a woman who decides that she doesn't want to be part of it. People need to live their lives. Yes, you're married. You're still an individual. I interviewed Dr. Donya Biola years ago, and she said to me, being married to one of the most powerful men, one of the richest men at that time, it doesn't mean that your individuality disappears or it melts away. You are still a person. You're a human being away from this person that you've married.
Yeah, sometimes if he... Well, they say it's human. I hope you don't say that. A woman sees a particular rich man, powerful man, has 2, 3, 4 wives. She chooks her head. Part of Millennium Demands.
Jayne, I can't even handle that. I can't even. I just think it's a personal thing. I mean, even imagine you knowing that your husband has a concubine. He's had enough. Then having to live in a house where you know you don't belong to the man alone. I mean, you know how they say there's a roster. I hear the roster this week is your turn. So anyone who goes into a polygamous marriage is ready.
By choice.
By choice. Because I mean, they don't force you.
Yeah.
You are ready. And I think there's this problem. A lot of young girls right now feel that they have to get married to be complete. I don't know how to explain it.
No, but does marriage complete you?
Marriage does not complete you if you don't even discover yourself or have that sense of self or that individuality, like you said. Marriage can't complete you. In short, you'll be frustrated.
That's it.
You'll be frustrated because marriage cannot complete you. Marriage is very complicated.
Yeah, but well, we men tend to think that some women are not cut out for marriage.
But not everybody
wants to get married.
No, one by one, yeah.
Not every woman wants to marry.
Okay.
And that's her
choice.
decision, and I respect it.
Okay.
Because marriage,
it's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
Can you spell it?
Marriage is not a joke. It's not a joke. Because you won't... There was this very brilliant interview of Omotola I watched recently. She said, you won't always... the actress, yes. Yeah. She said, you won't always love your husband. There are some days I wake up and I'm like, how did I get into this? Because, you know, when you get married to that person, that's where you see the whole character. And then there are some days I wake up, I'm like, oh God, I thank you. So you will always fall in.
It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag. You always fall in and out of love.
And out.
So you have to make a conscious effort to stay in love.
That's the truth. And she just talks about something. Sometimes you wake up, you're like, how did I find myself?
How on earth?
I remember at one point, my husband did something and I just didn't want to engage. I didn't want to talk. I just picked my bag. I literally picked my bag, a travel bag, and I disappeared from the house. I don't know how he knew where I was. I went home to
I no go know.
I went home to Mbise to be with my parents, and I didn't say anything to them when I got there. I just said, look, I came to spend time with them. And the next thing I heard, I think some hours later, there was this knock at the gate, and lo and behold,
he came to pick his
this
wife.
man just appeared. And I'm like, how did you know I was here? He said, well, I calculated from Port Harcourt, you won't face Lagos. This is where you would come. And we sat down, we talked. And he was fidgeting. I said, well, I didn't tell them anything, So just be your normal self.
Yeah.
When we pack ourselves out of this place, we can solve the matter. So, as she said, it's not always rosy. It's not always rosy.
Let me take another call. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Jimo Akano again, sir.
Jimo.
It is even more interesting at the point you are now. The family angle. You see, when you are at your convention, I'm talking of the women convention now, when you gather to discuss, analyze your agenda, your programs, let it be part of what you need to discuss and imbibe. Family virtue. There's no God didn't create man and woman for the sake of creation. God created man and woman for a purpose. So if you say, okay, yeah, you don't want to marry, don't want to do this, and it's like your projection is that, okay, at the end of the day, we will not even have anybody on the surface of the planet.
Yeah.
Because if you don't marry, if you don't procreate,
who will take over
on the planet?
Jimo, but you know, a woman knows what she wants. If she needs a child, she knows who to put on the job. So let's leave that up. WhatsApp messages have come in. Helen Hussein is saying they prefer the Nigerians, listeners won't call in because we're not discussing politics. Listeners prefer the hard stuff. Okay, that's what you think. Banji is back. Marriage is never a joke. It involves knowing who you are, what you want, and how to typically achieve it.
That's true.
So, in going home, if he begin to take us home,
For the 21st,
if you like, from the top
to the bottom.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate that the woman of today needs to understand exactly who she is.
Yeah.
I always use myself as an example because you can't give what you don't have, and you can't talk about what it is you've not been through. I've had so many persons come to me to say, Ify, won't you think about remarrying? Like, that's the visa that I need to go to heaven. And I say to them, it will come at its own time. There are other things on my list of priorities that I should actually deal with. And you won't say because the society expects that you will jump into another marriage because you lost your husband, then you quickly rush into it. Because you rush into it, you're going to rush out also. But that's for me. But I look at every woman who's striving to succeed in whatever it is that she's doing today. You must first discover yourself, discover your purpose, understand what your destination is, and find ways to actually reach that destination.
But sometimes you feel like a man in your life.
But why not? As much as I can give myself the things that I think I can afford now, if I want to go on a vacation, I can save towards it and take myself there. I would be glad to have a man say, if you pack your bags, I've been dreaming about going to the Bahamas. Pack your bags, Ify. We're going to the Bahamas. It is beautiful when a man does things for you, when a man takes care of you and all of that. But you won't put your life on hold because you don't have that man to do that. Yes, anymore. Many people will come around you. It's important for you to look around and find that man who truly wants
before you die.
Not the man who wants Ify because she's this Ify, or that.
Yeah.
You need to want that Ify who is Ify, and that Ify who understands that life is exactly what it is that happens to you when you're making other plans.
Jayne, how do you take this home?
Marriage is important, but marriage is not everything. That's my opinion. And always remember that beyond being a wife, beyond being a mother, you are an individual. You are a woman. There's a lot inside of you. So don't kill your dreams. Don't put your dreams on hold, like Ify says, just because you want to get married. Oh, they say don't buy car first before you marry. If not, man no go come. No go rent house. So if not, you no go see man. Nah, those are like 1990 narratives. So be aspirational, be aspirational. Live your life. Even when you get married, marry the right man. How do you know the right man? Marry your friend, somebody that will allow you fly. Because the truth is, a lot of men are afraid of ambitious women. It's good to be ambitious, but there's also actually a thin line between ambition and being overly ambitious, because then it means you can do anything. So be knowledgeable, whatever it is you find yourself doing, be knowledgeable, about it, and surround yourself with a support system. It is very, very important. If you want to break or shatter those glass ceilings in your career, you need a support system.
All right, we'll leave it there, but not before thanking the twosome, Jayne Augoye, journalist, work-life balancer. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And of course, Ife Onyegbule, always Ife, broadcaster, journalist, women's rights advocate. Thank you for your time too.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I think the menfolk now know what they want. The professional woman in the 21st century and beyond. Are you ready for all of these? We want to thank Yaya Aliyu and Samuel Manwa, who were the controls. Thank you, both of you. ID John produced, and the show is open to sponsorship. Contact ID John on 0802-333-4386. I'm out of here. See you tomorrow.